sports, so let's talk about it together on a new edition of Sports Extra, which starts right now.
Time for Sports Extra, presented by your local Toyota dealers.
The madness will continue. Hope you're having a great weekend. We are so glad you are spending your Sunday night here with us. This is Sports Extra, presented by your local Toyota dealers. I'm Tina Cervasio. The St. John's men's basketball team has advanced to the Sweet 16 for the first time in 27 years after a wild game with a thrilling ending tonight in San Diego. 5-seed St. John's led most of this game and took a 14-point lead against 4-seed Kansas late in the second half, but Kansas never seemed to go away. The Jayhawks, they chipped away at the Red Storm's double-digit lead until Bryce Hopkins hit a big three for the Johnnies. There was a minute and a half left in the game, and that gave St. John's a 65-61 lead. But Kansas kept hitting back. They tied the game on a pair of free throws. So we cannot show you the highlights because the tournament's night session is still ongoing, but we can show you this. Dylan Darling getting the inbounds pass with 2 seconds left, driving from half court, and he drives to the rim, goes up with an off-balance layup, but he makes it for the buzzer beater, and St. John's clinches the 67-65 win, beating Kansas to advance. St. John's now heads to their first Sweet 16 since 1999 to play the #1 seed in the tournament, Duke, on Friday in Washington, D.C. By the way, Darling was 0 for 4 going into that shot, and he said after the game that all he remembers from the timeout huddle was Rick Pitino yelling at him for something he did earlier. But now, Dylan is the darling of the dance.
To be honest, the ball left my hands, and I hit the ground, and I didn't even see the ball go in. I just heard everybody going crazy, and then, everybody jumped, was jumping around, and, it was pretty cool, though.
But here's the amazing thing, and the funniest thing I've ever been involved with. So we're going to run a play, but they got fouls to give, and Bells comes up to me and says, run power, which is a high back screen pick and roll. So I walk away. I said, okay, power. I walk away and said, wait a second. He hasn't scored a bucket, and he wants to run a play for himself. And I'm thinking, as I'm walking, I said, but he's Bells. And not only did he do it, he went with his right hand. So I'm real proud of him because to want the ball when you haven't made it a shot is unbelievable.